Hi guys, and welcome to the Ace Tanker for the Alecto. This one has been a long time in coming. It's another one of these tanks I rebought simply to get an ace in, and as per usual, directly after this game I sold it. But the history behind this video is about 10 months ago. It's that long ago. 73 North challenged me to get an ace tanker in the Alecto. I can't remember if it was on stream or in YouTube comments. I think it was on stream. But I rebought the Alecto, thinking it's a tier 4, shouldn't take too long to get the ace tanker, and it took 10 months, but that doesn't mean I've been trying to get an ace tanker for about 10 months. It simply means I've been forgetting to play this tank for about 10 months. Lots of things happened. House move happened, holidays, breaks from the game, and then more recently, personal missions. Personal missions are tier 5, tier 6 tanks and above, and this is a tier 4, so I wasn't using it for personal missions, kept forgetting to play it. Occasionally I took it out for its daily double, but and tried to get the ace tanker, but it just never seemed to happen. But thankfully, this is one of these times where I took it out for a daily double, or a triple in this case. Got it in the first game, but what can I say about the Alecto? I like the tank, even though I decided to sell it after this game. It's fast and it's maneuverable, and you would expect it to be, because the Alecto is built on the chassis of the Tetrarch. It's actually a Russian premium gift light tank at the moment, but it's a very good gift tank. It's fast, it's got a great gun, and I was always kind of surprised that the Wargaming hadn't put a Tetrarch into the tech tree for the British tanks, but and it's only available as a limited edition gift tank for the Russians. But it kind of is in the game, because this is basically an open-topped Tetrarch. The Alecto is basically an open-top Tetrarch with typically light tank armor. It's got no armor, and it's open top, as I say. So HE really messes this tank up. I think this tank's biggest weakness is taking HE damage. RT will try and hit you. A lot of the tanks it faces, it'll face tier 6s, tier 5s, tier 4s, tier 3s, even occasionally tier 2s. And if they're firing derp guns, if they're firing HE, they can pretty much mess you up. A lot of them are going to be one-hit killing an Alecto. You don't get a lot of hit points, and you've got no armor, so very susceptible to HE damage. Also, the tank was a lot better than it used to be, because it's one of these TDs that used to have amazing view range, and unfortunately it got hit with the nerf bat. The view range was nerfed massively. It's still okay if you put binocs and maybe a camo net on it, and you can use the view range. You can get the view range up to pretty good levels, but it's definitely not as good as it used to be. And you could play this tank on the move and have very good view range, but if you're playing it on the move now, the view range isn't quite so good. But anyway, let's get going. 73 North, this one is for you. You've been waiting a long time for this replay, or this ace tanker. We are here on Sand River. It's a very nice matchup. It required a nice matchup to get the ace, I think. A lot of inexperienced players on both sides, so yeah, you could say it's a little bit of puppy kicking, but I don't care. I got the ace and the tank was sold. But moving up, the gun, I forgot to mention the gun. The gun is very good on this tank. 110 millimeters of penetration, 75 damage with a 57 millimeter. I was originally using the derp gun, but I was told to use this gun instead, so I did, and it was a good decision. So I've moved up, I've been spotted. That looks was very aggressive. And basically I'm just trying to get into a position. I decide, you know what, I don't want to engage that looks. He can pretty much clip me or magazine, or get me in one magazine, but wait for backup, wait for the T-80 to appear. And it looks as if the looks isn't actually using the machine gun. Okay, so that means I've got a little bit of hit points on my tank I can play around with. But this gun, it's rapid firing. It's quite accurate. The aim time is quite good. So it lacks alpha damage, but it's almost like a machine gun when it starts to fire. So we're just working the gun depression. We've got shots on the side of a Stug. I'm keeping an eye on that mini-map. So there's the first kill. And there we go. On the mini-map, PZ3 just appeared to my side, and yeah, it looks as if he's aiming at me. So now you've got a choice. This is always a difficult decision to make. This PZ3 is in a very tough position. He looks as if he's firing with that shell velocity at derp gun. But I had a choice. I could move back or I could move forward. And you see a lot of players reversing, and that would have taken me too long. he probably would have hit me once or twice, so instead of reversing, I advance into cover. The nearest cover was forward, so that's where I go. I'm staying safe. There's a couple of good RT players, or there's a good RT player on the enemy team, but trying to poke, he misses, and now you're going to see the aim time, the reload. See how fast this thing fires. Now, unfortunately, he missed his first one, but hits me with the second one, and you can see he did 107 damage, so there's pretty much half my health gone. So, fires again, miss, could have used with hitting that one, but you can see the rate of fire. Now, I could basically kill him before he can fire again. So that's what the aim time and the rate of fire on this gun can do. And once again, we're on the move, and you can see we're already up to about 40 kilometers an hour, 45 kilometers an hour. There's RT. RT loves trying to hit an Alecto, but we have to stay on the move, playing the tank to its strengths regarding its speed and mobility. So PZ-38T in the distance, he's on a low health. Again, gun bobbing up, aim, look at the aim time. It's a great little gun, really, really recommend it. But I have to say, the Alecto, it was quite a tricky little tank to get an Ace Tanker in. I may not have played it that much, but I did play quite a few games, lots of daily doubles, and here we go. I'm basically firing third person because sometimes in third person the shell will loop. But we've just taken out the RT, and it looks as if the Covenanter is using a derp gun. Yeah, Covenanter is definitely using a derp gun. So, yeah, I've got to be really, really careful now. The Covenanter is 3 or maybe even 4 hits for me to kill him, and he just has to hit me once if he's using the derp. So, got to be very, very careful. And this is where I decide, you know what, there's no point in taking on that Covenanter. He's got too much backup, and actually the biggest problem for me is the FCM 36 Pack 40 on the enemy team. That thing has a humongous view range, and he's been spotted in the middle, so I decide a better course of action is to head down this flank and maybe try and kill the other enemy RT. But I can't really move across the middle with the FCM there, and I spot the Martyr, so auto-aiming just to try and get a little bit more gun depression. As I say, sometimes it happens. I take him out quickly, but I have to move because I know RT is still in play. And that Covenanter with the derp gun is around here somewhere. So again, moving. And RT. Yeah, RT was firing over here. So I'm looking for this Covenanter. I'm convinced this guy is flanking me. And I'm not seeing him. So I decide, okay, let's move forward, let's go with the original plan, kill RT, and there we go. So the Alecto, it still has view range. The view range is okay, it's definitely got better view range than RT. But the view range used to be more like FCM 36 Pack 40 standards. It used to be about 390, 400. Not quite sure what it is these days off the top of my head, but we're on 6 kills, 2 tanks left on the enemy team, and 2 tough tanks. I'm, again, not feeling that confident because the AMX-40, the armor is very, very troll. The FCM 36 Pack 40, great gun, great view range. He's going to spot me before I spot him, so that's why I'm being very cautious. The enemy team are capping. I'm not taking the route down through the middle. I'm taking the long way round. 1 tank in the cap at the moment. So again, being very cautious. Where is the FCM 36 Pack 40? So the AMX 40 has been spotted. I've got rear shots. Unfortunately, he's got a wreck to hide behind, trying to shoot past the wreck. Can't do it. Not succeeding. Go for a couple of blind shots. But still only 1 tank in the cap, and this is really, really dangerous. Okay, now the cap's just gone to 2 tanks. So now I know exactly where the FCM 36 Pack 40 is. And trying to make use of terrain, trying to make use of available cover, trying to get close to the FCM 50 or FCM 36 Pack 40. No idea what health these guys are on, and it turns out the FCM's on low health, so not much to aim at. And there you go. The aim time allows me to take out the FCM 36 Pack 40. He was on low health, and I know that the AMX 40 is on low health, and I've got 163 hit points. I can afford to take a hit from this guy. Now, I could have switched to premium, but I know that if I shoot this guy directly in the side or rear, I can pen him. So, move around, rush my first shot, take the hit, and there we go. Kill number 8. But yeah, Alecto, it's an ace tanker that's been a long time in coming. Now, this may come as a surprise to you, but that game was a perfect example of how not to play the Alecto. Yeah, I know it was a good result. I picked up my first ace in the tank. I picked up a top gun. But as I say, a good example of how not to play the Alecto, because the Alecto is a tank destroyer. It may be fast and it may be mobile, and I was using that strength in the game. But you've also got to remember it's got very few hit points, and it's got no armor. So this tank sees tier 6s, it sees tier 5s. It's going to be one hit killed by a lot of the tanks it's going to be facing. It's going to be two hit killed by a lot of the tanks it's going to be facing. So you really don't benefit from playing the Alecto aggressively. I was just very lucky. I happened to be top tier in a very nice matchup. Happened to be on Sand River, which gives very little opportunity for using bush mechanics or camo raiding. And just the way the game flowed meant I ended up playing that game more like a light tank than I did a tank destroyer. But I think the Alecto benefits from being played like a tank destroyer. Use the speed to get into a tank destroyer position early, use the binocs, use the camo net, and use its camo rating to play it like a traditional tank destroyer. You're going to have better games. When you try to play the Alecto aggressively, usually it doesn't work. And as I say, in that game, unfortunately, the flow of the game just meant I had to play it aggressively. But usually, that's not how you play an Alecto. It does have good camo rating. And yeah, when you put binocs and a camo net on this with that gun, it's a very, very good tank destroyer. But we did finish with the ace. We finished up with 8 kills, no Radley Walters medal because it was a lower tier game. But 907 XP, 1212 damage done, can't complain. 33 shots fired, 22 hits. So the gun is quite accurate. Don't know where I missed those 10 shots, but I did. The penetration is very, very good for a tier 4, 110 millimeters of penetration, so pen 20 of the 22. As I say, happy with the damage. 2 spotted, 9 damaged, 8 destroyed, 2 base cap points, 53 base defense points, and I earned 21,000 credits with a premium account. 1360 XP on the first game of the day. It was a ×3, I'm happy to say, left me on 4,216, and immediately after this I sold the tank, and you'll be happy to know, or maybe unhappy to know, I moved the crew into the AT2, because that's another tank. I never got an ace tanker. Really, really looking forward to playing the AT2. That thing looks so troll. And yeah, I hope it's not going to take 10 months before bringing that ace tanker to you guys. But 73 North, Alecto Ace Tanker. It's done, it's dusted. Sorry it's taken so long, but thank you for issuing the challenge. Thank you guys at home for watching. I'll see you next time.